So around that time, man, 78, 79, you talking about going into the 80s, I know you was a go-go head.
Oh,
you had it, man. Who was your favorite go-go band, man?
Well, it's funny you say that. I wasn't much at go-go at that age. Remember that 78, now 88, 89, 99, I went to the Black Hole, the Panorama Room, nigga, you know, so many spots and shit. Of course, Essence, you know. Essence was my shit, you know what I'm saying? Lil Benny and all them, that was my shit. You know, I remember going to what was that joint? The Coliseum. Was up there, 8th and 8th Street.
Yeah, Coliseum. That was on like 30 off of 30 and H, right by the Union Station Bridge.
Right. I remember going seeing you know, because they what they used to always do. Remember they used to bring like an R&B or hip hop act and Red Essence or whatever. I remember the A-Team, the Gangster Chronicle. I remember being up. I remember being up in the bleachers looking at them stomping the shit out of the 40. Stomping on one nigga like, damn, that ain't my head down there, motherfucker. Whoever he is got fucked up down there.
That Coliseum, man. That was like the equivalent of somebody going to the arena now. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, the go-go bands was doing the steps back then. Right. Having Stardolls, man. You know what I'm saying?
Remember the Capital Center, the back to school boogie?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I was all up in there, man.
Yeah. So when as time went on, you started getting the role, you introduced some of your friends to the go-go music. What was their first reaction when they heard it?
Oh, well, a lot of my friends really didn't like it.
They didn't like it?
Yeah. And unfortunately, I feel like, a little bit unfortunately, that the first feel of a lot of people go-go was doing the butt. And that was more of an R&B, you know, that was a little more poppy than the real.
It wasn't that pocket.
It wasn't in the pocket, right. You know, so everybody's like, I like go-go. Like, thinking that's not go-go. That's cool. Shout out to EU. But we wasn't feeling with the shit back in the day. So with that,
it was Jamaican food you buy at the curry, but it wasn't the one they cook in their house.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It was Chipotle. It wasn't the mother street taco. You know, Chipotle's cool, but not the street taco. So, but I used to play go-go back when I moved to LA in the early 90s. In my car, I had some go-go. I asked my boys to bring mixtapes to me, give me mixtapes. So, but I was in all the little spots, man. Yeah, man. You know,
you named the popular ones though. It's funny because every time the people out of town, they be like, "Man, I never heard go-go." It's funny you say "doing the bucket." I said, "You heard it. You heard doing the butt, right?" And they be like, "Yeah, that was my song." I said, "That's go-go." You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people heard Junkyard when it was in the movie DC Cab and saw it, so that kind of kind of got out there too, man. But it's crazy. So the go-go, you mess with Essence, and you obviously mess with EU and all that. But it was another band, the Trouble Funk with Big Tony. What would you think about them, Big Tony and Trouble Funk? What was your opinion about them?
It was cool. I mean, I was more like let me think who else was there. It was
the Mass Distinction.
I thought you were gonna say Mass Distinction.
Mass Distinction.
But now who with a P?
Peacemakers, Pump Blenders.
Oh, damn,
God, I'm trying to think of who's opened up the joint for the Essence of the Highway, man.
It was.
God damn, I don't know what happened. Petworth. It was a lot of them back then. Schoolboys, Reds and the Boys.
Wow.
Lord didn't bet Chuck Brown. I know we left on Chuck Brown. We left on the Godfather, man.
One thing about Chuck was, you know, he took it semi to commercial, but he also could his groove. He was in the pocket at the time too. Because when I first came, it was, what was that hit he had, Chuck Brown? What the biggest hit there?
Bustin' Loose?
Bustin' Loose, yeah. That was back in like 70, 78, 79. I remember hearing him first, but then I got grimy on some stuff. Yeah.
And for all y'all not familiar with go-go, that's the go-go bands we speaking of on the wall, man. We pay tribute to them, homage to them. That's the DC sound. We got the Go-Go Museum. Shout out to my man Ron Moulton.
Scorpio.
DC Scorpio.
I used to do shout out to DC Scorpio. I used to do what do you call it, like talent shows with him when I first started out. Yeah, he had a little sweatsuit on top, be like LL Cool J and shit, man. Let's DC Scorpio.
DC Scorpio grew around our way, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, DC Scorpio. My whole neighborhood was DC Scorpio, Hecker Jamal Girls, Lisa the World, Trina Boo, myself. So it's like, man, our whole little neighborhood, they end up being popular names in the DC area, in one little area like that, right?
And you grew up around Hecker Jamal?
Yeah, Hecker Jamal. I grew up in Langston Terrace. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Let me tell you a quick story. Funny story. I'm gonna keep it.
You're on stage and George.
Right. So what it was I met a girl and she stayed at Hecker Jamal. It's early 90s, like 90 and shit, right? Summer of 90. And I wound up hitting it. Okay.
Right.
And a few girls at my age had their own apartment back then. We talking about 21-year-old girl, 22. Chocolate, cute girl. Right. And I woke up, nigga, and I was shivering, and I was just I remember she tried to give me some cereal. I couldn't eat the cereal. I was shaking. I was like, this bitch gave me AIDS, nigga. You know what I'm saying? At first, I was like, I got AIDS, motherfucker. Damn, you dirty bitch. I'm over here in D.C. with some AIDS and shit. Now, she was a cool girl, sweet girl. But, nigga, if I wake up next morning, fucking, you know, I'm like this, eating this shit. I couldn't know what the fuck it was. Basically, I had the flu, but I didn't know it. But it hit me the morning. Man, I don't know how I got it beforehand. I can always remember she lived near Heck and Jamal. I was like, I used to drive way around Heck and Jamal. Like, nigga, I ain't fucking with nobody in Heck and Jamal area again. But yeah, I thought I had AIDS, man. Fucking with her, man.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Damn, yeah. What's his name? Wait, when did you realize you wanted to be a comedian, man? When did you realize that?
Well, I was always funny with the family, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Putting on shit in front of the family and so forth. But I knew when I really wanted to do it was when I saw Eddie Murphy Delirious. In the red with the red leather and shit. When I saw what he was doing the next day, people were all talking about that shit because it came on HBO. People were like, yo, did you see Eddie Murphy? Eddie Murphy, because he was hot things. These kids don't know now, but he was the Kevin Hart or whoever, like Country Wayne or whatever it was at the time. He was huge, you know what I'm saying? And I saw him doing it. I said, I was really a good joner. I could jone your ass out and shit. I was good. I tear niggas ass up. I had to, nigga. You know the way I looked and shit. So yeah, Eddie Murphy Delirious. So I said, you know what, I want to do that. You know, how I would do that.
Is there anybody you can think off your head when you was coming up that he was a hell of a Jonah too? When you seen him, y'all had some roles, but he ain't never make it on the next level. But y'all had some good roles in school or anywhere. Anybody you can think off the back of your head, or he just tore everybody ass to do frame?
No. But I tell you on some real shit. At Croston, you could walk down a hallway, and at the end of the hallway, it's split to like other classes.
Okay.
And you have to have a heater, heater. And in the wintertime, we used to sit on the heater, you know, just wait for classes. And I was such viciousness, nigga. Niggas come walking this way, they had to go this way. Niggas would walk around the building. Like, I ain't fucking with P, man. You know? Even the drug dealers and shit would like pay me a little money and shit. Niggas, Jonah on this nigga right here, you know. Don't fuck with me like that now, you know. So I was a beast on that little stoop right there, that little heater and shit.
Yeah, we had two dudes in Spinghorn like that, man. Dude, one called Six Pack.
Okay.
And one named Big Jeff. We called him Converse. He wore big chucks. Man, he rest in peace too, Big Jeff.
Oh wow,
man, funny man. That's how anybody walked in, they just light you up. They had all these jokes that had like little riddles with them. Like they might say some shit like, your mother's so tall, God rests his boots on her head. Right. Or you know what I'm saying? She's so black, they mock her night in high school. Like he had all these little crazy sayings, right? But they like that. You brought back memory, man. Both of them was so funny, man.
You know what makes a good Jonah too? If a nigga can act it out.
Yeah.
Or add a little extra to it.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, your shoe little ass so fucked up, like you lay down, you put them on. Then niggas start laying down. You put the motherfuckers on and shit. Like, hell no. I was doing that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
You one of them dudes that if somebody laughing hard, you start fucking because they laughing hard.
Well, not that, but if somebody's joning on me, you laughing at this nigga shit? Oh, let's talk about them teeth, nigga. They be, oh my God, that bullshit, nigga. Like, oh man. And I was just vicious with it. Even when I got to LA, rest in peace to AJ Johnson, Ezel from Friday. Right, yeah. He was known as that kind of dude, Joe Torre and all them. Ask them niggas about me. I light their asses up, man. They were like, who this new nigga coming in here? Motherfucker, what? I grew up with it. I had to, you know what I'm saying? Defend it like that. I was an easy target. Long hair, light skin. I've been called white, yellow, you know, pale, whatever, you know, beige ass nigga, you know what I'm saying? I said, all right, motherfucker, here we go. You know, I'm like, you ain't perfect, homie. You ain't perfect. Let's talk about them hands, nigga, them feet, nigga, them teeth, whatever, that haircut, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
So you funny, you make your ways and all that. So how do you actually get into the comedian game? How did you get into the game?
I was in high school, and I used to go, you know, in Crossland, and we had like vocational classes or whatever, and I read one time an open mic night in downtown D.C., you know, comedy club on a Thursday, I could go. So it was a Friday though when I had it. So I went on a Friday and I saw a comedian. Shout out to Kevin Lee, the flips and stuff and all that. He was the only black guy on the show. He's the feature act. And I went to watch him. And went to watch the show and asked, how do I get into it? Like, how do you do this? And I remember he sat down between shows. You know, only brother there. The other was white boys. This is when a lot of black people weren't doing comedy. A lot of young kids, you know. And so I said,
what year we talking? You mind?
No, I'll tell you, 85.
Okay.
So I said, how you do this? How you get into it? This fool gonna tell me, go home and write 5 minutes of jokes and come on back on Thursday open mic night. I said, all right. I got my car. I was like, what's 5 minutes of jokes? Remember, I'm a joner. I don't know what a joke is and shit. You know what I'm saying? I can see a joke, but I didn't know how to structure one. So Rodney Dangerfield had an album out, and a white guy named Stephen Wright had an album out. Stephen Wright, for those who watch Chappelle show movie, what's the weed movie he did? He did a weed movie and shit. Half Baked. The guy that's laying on the couch all the time, for those who remember that. he was a popular comic. So I went and listened to their albums and flipped it to urban situations. You know what I'm saying? And came back on amateur night and killed their ass. You know, when people thought I bombed the first time or dare, I ain't do no daring. The reason I wanted to be famous was I wanted to be rich and famous, motherfucker. It wasn't no dare shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, people always say I was dared. I went up and look at me now. I wasn't dared, nigga. I was like, nigga, I don't want to work for the government. Don't respect those who are government workers. Well, I can't be in no cubicle and shit like that. Fuck that. And that's what everybody was trying to tell you back then.
G15, all that.
Hell no, exactly. Yeah, GS7, 12, and all that. No sir. So I went up on amateur night and it was funny. You know, of course, I'm doing that kind of material. Right. And then one night, how it sparked it was like maybe 3 months later. I was going every Thursday, picking up open mic night, my number and shit. And one night I was running late because you had to go there at 6 o'clock, sign up, and come back at 9 o'clock for the show. Okay. So I ran home back to Maryland and stuff, and because this was on like 14th and K Street or whatever, right down there and shit. I ran back and I got stopped by the police on the way back and was, got a ticket and shit. So by the time I got there, they were like, "You about to be up next, hurry up." And I was like, "Shit." And I ran up on stage and was telling people about what happened to me, just pissed off about getting pulled over. And they were laughing. I was like, "Y'all laughing shit? I just told y'all what just happened." I didn't realize this was going to be, it went funny. It just went funny. And I was like, I can do my own goddamn joke, my own story. So that's how I started changing.
Start being a storyteller too. So was that when it was exactly, was that the moment you knew I can make a living? What was the moment you said I can make a living doing this right here? Was that the moment? When was the moment?
No. It's weird. That's a good question, but it didn't really come up like that. Martin and Tommy Davidson moved to L.A. Back in 89, 90, whatever. Tommy's already on another level. Okay, he didn't hang with us regular comedians. He was doing big old concerts and so forth like that. He went at the comedy clubs every night. Martin was, Chappelle was, a whole Wanda Sykes and all them were. Fat Doctor, shout out to all of them. And then Martin went and he did what's that thing called? Star Search. And then from there he got picked to come to work on What's Happening Now. I remember that show. What's Happening? What's Happening? It came out. What's Happening Now? And then he started doing what's the movie he did? House Party. So him and Tommy Davidson was doing In Living Color. It's called a pilot, the first episode. So we flew out to see that. To see them work on House Party and In Living Color. And when I was saying that, I was like, these regular DC niggas that, making out here, like, we can get out here and do this, before you saw Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, everybody really big, you think, I can't touch that, what I'm saying? I ain't good as Eddie Murphy. But I realized, hold on, the bros are doing this shit. I can do this shit, if you out there, I can make it out there. And even Martin was like, yo, man, come on out here, come back, dude, fuck DC, come on out here, and this is where it's at. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I went home, saved my money, and for like a year, took the little $800 I had saved up. Shit was tight back there. Okay, $8 an hour, you do $40, whatever it was. You gonna do what you gonna do. You ain't gonna disrespect my motherfucking $800 now. Okay, it was what it was. Okay, I had that in a little Nissan Pulsar.
You got that out there too?
I took that out there. I drove 3 days cross country. I stuffed all my shit in it. Somebody I never told them I put all my shit in. I had a tape box. It was tapes back then. Right. And some kind of way I put them underneath all the shit, all my luggage and all that kind of stuff. I had 2 tapes. I had to listen to across country. Soul to Soul, Keep On Moving, nigga, and Black Box. Everybody, nigga, for 3.5 days. I know them whole songs back and forth, nigga. So I cringe when I think about it. So I'm driving across my little Nissan Pulsar. I know every song on the Black Box album from everybody. I mean, from Black Box and Soul to Soul, Keep On Moving, man. I drove that shit across country. I couldn't go through all my shit. I packed up. But my major things back then was, of course, my clothes. But I took my microwave, my TV. And my VCR, nigga. Them were big items back then, bro. Come on, man. Them were big items right there.
That shit they break it out. They was taking that right.
Okay, back in 90 now. Chill with the disrespectful shit you try to put in the comments. 1990, nigga. That's what we had.
Yeah, exactly. Now you made me think about. You said you had them 2 songs all with L.A. When I was incarcerated in Oakdale, Louisiana, and I was working out every day, and I had 1 tape of Johnny Gill album, the joint, Put On Your Red.
Come on, man, really?
Man, I knew every song, and that's why I'm singing this song all the way. I'm taking showers in the room, all that, right? So you brought back memories on that joint right there, man. That's funny, man. Yeah. So when you first get to LA, what's the first job you get? What you do? How you surviving out there?
That's a good question. We don't ask that question normally. So I get out there, and I work at a place called Primetime Shuttle. Back then, they used to call Primetime Shuttle for airplane, take you to the airplane. So you call them and then they put you on a list for time, and then they pick up everybody else and on the way get you and shit. You get on the shuttle. That's how it wasn't no Uber back then. That's what it was. And I was a reservation agent. You call in and say I need a shuttle. Friday at 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I put your name down and then put the list. They route the shit like that. Okay. So that was the first job I had. And I had my little shirt on, my little tie and shit, bullshit I had to wear. Well, whatever, it was that bullshit. But yeah, I had to work that. And at nights I would go do the comedy clubs, run around the comedy clubs.
Oh, so you was work, you meet your coworkers. You say, man, come and take me out tonight. Check me out. You selling yourself to the customers early? Or you just
no, not that. No, not that. I didn't think how good I was at that point. You just want to get your act together. You ain't trying to tell people come see you. Your shit.
You want to make sure.
Yeah, you whack it, shit it, whatever. So no. But I had three roommates in a 2-bedroom apartment. All of us from DC. I slept on a blow up mattress, nigga, for like 6 months. It's cool for 2 or 3 days, nigga. Do 6 months, and you the nigga blowing it up, nigga. I got asthma to this day. This interview might be cut short, nigga. I can't talk for so long and shit. Okay. My lung capacity is low. Some nights I wouldn't blow that motherfucker. I was like, look here, just give me a pillow off, a cushion off the motherfucking couch, nigga. Cause I ain't got the lung capacity to sleep comfortable tonight, nigga.
Hey man, you say you the best your lungs up there.
Fuck that. Okay. Hey, the struggle was real, homie. Okay.
Hey man, you crazy, man.
Out the park, niggas know me. Curtbone, little homie. All days, yeah. Been a roll. Yeah.
Look, man, make sure y'all log on to Curtbone TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share it with a friend. I'm going to keep on bringing y'all interesting content, interesting interviews. I'm going to even let y'all think of topics to give me that we can talk about. I'm going to start going live. But what I need y'all to do is hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell for notifications, share it with a friend. Remember, Curtbone TV.